Hey everyone, welcome back to SRC Names. Sorry for another long absence, guys. I guess my schedule never ceases to be busy these days, but I finally found some time where I could actually make a video here. This video is mainly for the forum users of Nameberry, which is a names enthusiast website, and those forum users are affectionately named Berries, which I love. I've been a berry for about 13 or so months now, in fact. So, before we get into that, though, I wanted to share with you some of the new names that I have recently added to my list, starting with the boys. We have Aberdeen, which I have always thought was only a place name, but I had just recently saw it on Nameberry, and I thought it was just a really cool person's name too. Then we have Kane with a C, and then Ori. Ori, now that I think about it, could actually be a really cool nickname for Orion or other names like that. And then other names that I saw in Nameberry were Herrick, and I think it's pronounced Herrick, and Hermes. And then we have Wesley, which I thought could be a cool alternative to perhaps Weston or other names like that. Then Enda, which has a nice sound to it. Tomek, I think it is. I'm guessing it's some sort of variation of Thomas. I like it a lot. And then Arum is another one that I heard and I like a lot. Arum was the pronunciation that I did hear. I think it could also be Arum or something like that too. Then we have Gavrik. Terrell with an A instead of an E. I really like that. And then Paladin. There was a kid on a show who had that name and he went by Pal as a nickname, which I thought was kind of interesting. And then for the girls, we have Edie, which could be a nice nickname for Eden, or similar names. Then Courtney with an E in the middle. And then Kalia, I think it is. Some of these names, it's been so long since I added it that I can't remember how I heard it. Then we have Ariandi, then Gabby with a 1B, and then Noelani. And then I recall hearing this one as Elisa, which is what made me add it, or maybe Eliza, instead of Eliza. Eliza I strongly prefer with a Z instead of an S. Same with Elizabeth. And then Aspen, Jerica. Aspen's one of those, by the way, that I thought was a place name only. I didn't know that it could actually be a person's name. And also it had to kind of grow on me, but I eventually added it. And then a really cool spelling of Karen, and a really cool spelling of Casey. And then we have what I think is supposed to be Fanny. I could be way off on that. It's been a while since I heard that one. And then Corey, nice spelling of that name for a girl. Then Adelita, I absolutely adore Adelita. I heard it saw it rather on Nameberry, and immediately added it. This one I also saw on Nameberry, what appears to be a rather trendy spelling of Abigail, but the more I saw it, the more I liked it. So I decided to add it. Then we have Arena, which I think has a nice sound, and I like the look of it too. Laurel with an A. And then Shalise. I think this one is Candela, or Candela. I'm not sure which. Or it could be another pronunciation. And then we have Nala, Jaina. I'm pretty sure that I have Jaina on my list already, but not this spelling in particular. And then we have L'Oreal, which is a nice kind of Laurel Ariel combo, as in mix, not combo as in first and middle or anything like that. And then the final name is Vivi. At first I thought maybe it was Vivi, and then I was thinking of other pronunciations, but I think this is supposed to be Vivi. And again, it took me a while to add to this list, add this name to this, to my list rather, but I liked it enough to add it. So those are the names that I have added here recently, and now I'd love to get into the combos that I just added to my in Nameberry. We have these things called user cards, which allow you to put your favorite names on. It's basically a Nameberry profile, and I just added a whole bunch of combos to my user card, or UC for short, and I hope you guys enjoy them. So I wanted to go over these. First up is my absolute favorite combo ever, Elliot Harrison. And this one went through all kinds of variations. At first I was thinking Elliot Taylor, and then Elliot Harris, and then the berries convinced me that Elliot Harrison flowed better than Elliot Harris, and I definitely agree with that now. Absolutely adore Elliot Harrison rather. And then Ezra Theodore, Everett Caspian. I picked a lot of combos that I thought would flow nicely. Plus, a lot of my favorite names are in them. In fact, all of these are, they include names that are in my list and that I have loved at one point or another. And then we have Wyatt Peregrine. Peregrine's one of those names that I've been getting into quite a bit lately, so I thought, why not make a combo with Peregrine? And Wyatt seemed to flow nicely with it. Caspian's another one of those names that I've been getting into a lot lately as well. Then we have Malcolm Ambrose, and Ambrose I have recently loved. So I thought Malcolm would pair nicely with Ambrose. Then we have Henry Isaac. Maybe 3 years ago, that was when my love for Isaac really took off. And Henry, I have always really liked. But here as of late, I have especially liked that name. So I thought Henry Isaac would go nicely. At first I was thinking maybe Harry Isaac, but Henry just had a better flow to Isaac than Harry to me. Alexander Hayes, I was thinking of maybe calling him Alex. That's the other thing that I really like about these combos and berries, and that is some berries like to put pronouns on their combos so that they think of them as actual people. So I thought that was really cool. But I'm thinking of calling Alexander Hayes Alex as a nickname. I'm not exactly sure yet. I do call Percival Adrian Percy, though, because Percy has a really nice sound to it, and I love the feel of it. Plus, Percival as a full name and Percy as a nickname just makes sense to me. And then we have Samuel Callahan. Callahan's one of those names that I've been getting into a lot lately, and I thought Samuel would pair really nicely with that. Samuel, it's not my all-time favorite name, but I really like it though. Same goes with Oliver, in fact, for Oliver Calvin. I wanted to make a combo with Calvin in it, and so Oliver seemed to fit nicely with Calvin. So those are my boy combos. And then here are my girl combos. These seem to flow a lot better to me than the boys. Anna Catherine was the first one that came to mind. there are two streets that are actually not too close, or not too far away, rather, from each other here in my area that are named Anne and Catherine. And I thought, hey, why not just make a combo out of that? And so I was thinking, Anne Catherine or Anna Catherine? So I made a poll on Nameberry, and they seemed to like Anna Catherine more. So I have really liked it. Once they helped me figure it out, that Anna Catherine flows more than Anne Catherine. Then we have Eleanor Harriet. One of the cool threads on Nameberry, one of the newer ones, in fact, is adopt a combo. And so I adopted all kinds of combos that I really like. Eleanor Harriet being my favorite. That comes from a berry named Emily. And then we have Alexis Parker, which has a nice flow to it. I really like it. That also comes from Emily. Then Sadie Catalina. Catalina is one of those names that I really, really like. And I thought Sadie would pair nicely with Catalina, so I took her from another berry whose name I am forgetting, but as soon as I remember her name, I will let you know. April Macy is another one from Emily that I took, and I really like the both names, and I think they flow well together as well. Then we have Emily Kate, which is an original combo that I made, and at first I was like, Emily Kate or Eliana Kate, because both seem to go well with Kate to me. And then the berries helped me choose Emily Kate. Then we have Elena Hazel, which I guess could also be Elena Hazel. I tend to prefer the Elena pronunciation. I wanted to do something with either Elena or Helena. And Elena Hazel just seemed to flow really nicely to me. Hazel's another one of those names that I really like, especially here as of late. Same for Heather and Adelaide. So Heather Adelaide. I thought that would flow together nicely. Then we have Avery Caroline. I wanted to make a Caroline combo, so Avery seemed to flow nicely with Caroline. At first I was thinking, should it be Caroline Avery? But Avery Caroline just seemed to flow nicely. Then we have Alice Taylor. Taylor, I have always loved as a girl more than a boy. As a girl's name, I should say. And Alice, I have really grown to like here in the last maybe year or so. And so Alice Taylor seemed to have a nice flow to that. And then another berry helped me and then that was going to be my list of combos, but then at the last second, another berry had Elsie Tatum up for adoption, and so I adopted her, and I really like it, that combo. I have always really liked Tatum, and I've also always really liked Elsie. I never did find out whether or not, or I should say I never did decide whether or not I liked Elise or Elsie more. But right now I'm feeling Elsie more than Elise, so I thought Elsie Tatum worked really nicely. So I adopted her. And Elsie Tatum comes from a berry named Eve. So thank you, Eve, and thank you, Emily, for the Alexis Parker, April Macy, and Eleanor Harriet combos. And I just remembered that Sadie Catalina comes from a berry named Annie. So thank you, Annie, for Sadie Catalina. I really love her. And those are all the combos. Hope you enjoyed, and I hope to have more videos here soon. perhaps sometime during the summer. I'm really hoping to upload some more videos to this channel. And thank you for watching.